think he's going to watch,
Okay.
which is
Hey,
fine.
I think we're
Are
at
we
it, Scott.
live?
I believe so.
Okay. How you doing, Ellis?
Hey, do pretty good. My whole ambition is to have a nice do nothing day if I can pull it off. But lately, uh, circumstances have arisen that I had to work all day long, 2 times, on like mucking stuff out and cleaning it and all that because of fleas. I was so
Oh
worried.
no!
Yeah, I saw fleas on my socks when I got in the car,
Oh my gosh, that's a
and
freaking
I said, "Oh
nightmare.
no, no, no! I can't have that flea festation again." I thought I'd taken care of it with dabbing stuff on the cat's necks, regularly. But
Yeah.
then it turns out, so I went all through the house and poisoned it, cleaned it, mopped it, all that, moved everything. Took 5 6 hours, and got that done. Then I went out today and checked my socks as I was in the car. I said, "Oh my God, I got fleas," and it's because the garage is where the fleas are at. So
Oh
I
no!
completely mucked it out and poisoned it and all that. And it's like, okay, another 6 hours doing hard, annoying
Hard
work.
labor.
Yeah, hard labor.
Oh
It's
gosh.
like I took a break, and the day in between, I mowed the lawn. So yeah, 3 days of Ellis not getting to do absolutely nothing except what he wants to do.
Well, that's my ambition, but I'm not going to get there because
Yeah,
um,
nobody ever does. That's the deal.
my problem is I've got oh, my brother and I are going to go into, which I've talked to you about. My brother and I are going to go into business, and
Well, right
and
away, that will take much more than you think it's going to take.
yeah, well, the plan is I'll only be working 3 days a week then, but she's getting there is gonna. I mean, it's not a cakewalk for sure.
Yeah.
So I am working on lettering. I am lettering the black cricket, um, and Dan has sent me.
And that's kind of a new development that you're
It is a
lettering
new
it.
development. Our writer, I mean not our writer, Dan's the writer. Our letterer has had some health issues. Actually, his wife has had some health issues. He's had some health issues now, and so originally I was going to letter chapter 3 and give him a break, and I was actually going to do that because not a lot. I was going to do it after the show because I don't think it'll take me long, and I didn't want to not be. I didn't want to deal with. I'm lettering, and then all of a sudden I'm done. I don't have anything to do on the computer, and then
Hmm.
we're recording. But uh, but Dan has. I'm going to letter the pencils, which this sounds a little crazy, but it's not. I'm going to letter the pencils for chapter 4. So when the guy gets done with the inks, it's ready. It's completely ready for me. So you know, so I'm going to go through and make these changes, and then I'm going to start messing. And the worst part about lettering, well, the worst part about this has been I have to. I'm everything I've lettered in the past has been stuff I've done everything on, and so I knew how the files were
Yeah.
set up, what size they were, and that sort of thing. So it took me a while to figure out how, because everybody, I mean, I got my own way of working, um,
Sure.
and so what I'm doing here is I am sorry, I'm now these are the changes, and I'm just pasting them in here, so I don't have to go back and forth. I'm doing the lettering in Illustrator, and I got it, and I copy and paste it into Photoshop. Okay, yeah. Okay, so oh crap. So I don't have a word. So I keep a little thing over here, my word balloon, but I don't have my word balloon for this one. So I got to open another document. Still, that it's kind of just an oval shape that works pretty good,
Yeah.
and see like this right here.
that's one of those items that. What's the name of that? Oh, it's had so many names. It's like it's selling you a new version.
Oh, Clip Studio.
Yeah, Clip Studio. It's like how
Oh
many
yeah,
times are they going to rename that thing?
Oh,
What did it used to be
well,
called?
it used to be called Manga Studio.
Yeah,
when I
Manga
was
Studio.
using it, it was Manga Studio.
Yeah.
And I thought it was pretty good, but my problem with it was, well, and the reason why I don't use it is because I couldn't get the files to look like I thought they should look.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah, it does seem to kind of it's trying to push you to say, okay, you can look just like this.
Yes, and I was never happy. And I was like, well, if it's not drawn like I want to draw, why am I? Everybody's like, oh, it's fast or cis or something. Like, fool you on that. Yeah. I mean, if I'm not happy with the way it looks, then why would I use it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
if it pushes you into a manga look, you are thinking, no, this is not what I want it to look like. I want to look like so and so drew it. I was looking at some someone posted Jack Davis doing a guy that was diving underwater and doing in a real twisty posture. I may have that actually. I might share it. And I swear to God, the guy knows more anatomy than Bern Hogarth, because it was just required by the subject matter that he was drawing a semi-nude guy in a muscular situation wherever tracery of his muscles is showing. And that guy it's a lesson just to look at the way he drew everything. I'll send it to you. It's pretty cool. And you don't expect that from Jack Davis. You expect nice big bony hands going into a shirt sleeve, and that's your usual Jack Davis anatomy.
Oh yeah, yeah, kind of
beautiful hands. I wish I had a big library of all of Jack Davis's hands. I think I just started to try to make one and even posted it on YouTube.
Oh yeah, on this channel or your dump channel?
I think it's on this channel. Yeah.
Well, so you talked about the cat thing. Have you got your other cat stuff done?
I still have got cats that need to be caught and transported, but as long as I do it before, even if they go into heat and have obviously been bred, I can still catch them and move them out of my way before they have kittens again.
So, but you're not going to end up with no cats, right?
Oh no. What they do is they release the cats right back in the neighborhood that you said you came from, and most of them.
So you're going to tell them your actual neighborhood then?
Oh yeah, I'm not going to go in and give them a fake name or anything.
I know, it's like, I'm Joe.
Hey, yeah.
I'm
Send
Ellis
these over to
Green.
some place I don't like.
Yeah, I'm from Del City. Yeah.
Yeah, they are. They do kind of challenge you a bit. Now, are you in Oklahoma City? When they come in, they're actually looking for people that think they're going to skip the idea of not being an Oklahoma City resident, because that is the Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
Hey guys, what's the haps? Says Dan. YouTube user Scott. I got the revised chapter 4 done. I emailed it to you.
I got the email, and I got he didn't just revise the script. He revised the art.
Okay.
But it's only pencil. But I'm gonna have to make some changes and get him to the inker before the inker gets the.
Yeah, I like you guys. What I've seen, that's coming out. I assume it's coming out. You guys got to get. Well, I finished DL and Odious, and I've just been sitting on it. It's like I know I got to do something with it, but
what are you doing with it?
I'm going to do Actually, I did do. I dropped all the stuff into iMovie last night and did a continuity of 4 minute long pauses on each frame, and with that, that's the start. Now I need to go in and start cutting it and turning it into a little motion comic of sorts. And then at the end of that, I will have an ad at the end of that motion comic say, buy the real comic, the PDF on Gumroad, and then I'll have a link to that Gumroad and see if I can sell a few of these things.
So that's your path to.
That's my strategy. I'm not going to do the, and then if I get enough, you know, oomph out of that, I may try to do my first, what do you call it?
Kickstarter.
Yeah, Kickstarter type thing. What do they call that?
Kickstarter.
Yeah, but what is the business?
Crowdfunding.
Yeah, crowdfunding. Hey, you heard Donald Sutherland died, didn't you?
I did, and I heard it kind of a blurb, and it made me. I immediately thought. When I heard Donald Sutherland, I thought Donald Glover, and I thought, well, he's kind of young. Sorry about that.
So we're good. The panel you were on.
It's fine, and Dan, it's fine. The changes in the art certainly.
Yeah, Sutherland. Yeah, he. A lot of directors, you know, chiming in that I follow on X, and they're all, you know, singing his praises, of course. Boy, that I just drew the nastiest little spider. That I guess that's what I have on my mind. All the mucking about I did in the garage just moments ago. I probably got spider bit a couple of times for all I know. But what was I going to say? Oh yeah, about Sutherland.
The directors that talked about Donald Sutherland.
Yeah, everybody in their best of Sutherland always lists "Don't Look Now." Have you ever seen that?
I don't know if I have.
It's a really good one by the director of Walkabout. What is that guy's name? Performance. Oh, what's his name? He's always really good visually. And Nicholas Rogue is his name, and he's done a couple other pretty cool movies. But Don't Look Now. Wow, that's killer in terms of like taking you places.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, as a character and a weird story where a guy is, you know, struggling. It's bad enough that he had his little daughter drowned within seconds of him pulling her out of the water in her home at his English estate. I get to say, I don't know if they can actually afford living in the estate they're in, or if they're kind of like trumped up house sitters because they're involved with academia or whatever. But it's real nice grounds, and she got off next to a pond, anyway, it's a really cool movie. I think it's on Canopy if you ever want to get around to watching it.
Oh yeah. For some reason, I don't watch a lot. Every time I get to the end of the month, I'm like, I watched my Canopy. I need to watch. And they got that new deal. The way they do the credits now, I think you get more movies.
Yeah. Sutherland was in Animal House. I did flash on that too.
Oh, that's
he was
right,
in Animal House. Yeah, he was the professor getting the young stuff. Now, of course, it would be so scandalous. Back when I remember college, was like, well, of course these professors are after these young girls, and the young girls are after them. You know?
Why else are they professors?
Huh?
Why else are they professors?
Yeah, it's almost like being a rock star. Why else would you be a professor?
Yeah, it's exactly like being a rock star.
Young girls used to be a reason for doing things back in the days when, I don't know, people just seemed more normal.
Yes, I guess I'm not gonna.
Okay, you're not gonna go there, huh? Well, no, I'm not saying that Epstein is the norm. I'm just saying that a lot of what was done for the sake of making yourself attractive. Well, I mean, they talk about that all the time about your mating. You just can't get away from it as a human being. You want to be a mating success.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's
He got Karen Allen. It'd be worth losing a job. Yeah, yeah. Karen Allen was gorgeous back then. Right before Raiders, I guess. I was thinking about how people would probably put Raiders way above Blade Runner in terms of like roles that would be favorites for Harrison Ford.
yeah.
And but that was the problem with Blade Runner. It was coming off with, hey, I'm going to go see a movie with that Han Solo,
Yeah.
Indiana Jones guy, and then it was Blade Runner.
Well, originally they wanted to wear a hat, and he didn't want to because he had just worn one in
Yeah,
Raiders,
yeah.
and he wanted to look different, so that's why he had the crew cut.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
And,
hang on, Dan.
yeah.
When you send me text changes or new thing, please include the text of the email so I cut and paste it. He sends me clips, but I got to retype it.
Uh-oh.
Anyway, just a request.
Good in Buffy. That's right. The original Buffy and Backdraft. Yeah,
Oh, that's
someone
right.
mentioned Backdraft. Yeah. It's been so long since I saw Backdraft. I just know Kurt Russell's in it. And that he's got one scene where a fellow firefighter is just mesmerized by him saying, "Good Lord, this is what I want to be. I want to be Kurt Russell, carrying a little kid out of the flames."
Yes.
And it's like,
Well, it's not a young girl.
and he says, "Gosh, I wish my self-exploration would lead me to being my hero, Kurt Russell, I'm seeing right in front of me." That's all I remember. That I think the movie kind of had that moment in it.
I don't remember that. It's been a while since I've seen Backdraft.
Yeah, Russell is also great. Yeah, he is, isn't it?
Yes.
I don't even remember. I'll be honest with you. I don't remember Donald Sutherland in Backdraft. I don't remember what he did in it.
He played the professor.
Yeah.
He's tight.
No, his take in his Body Snatchers is as good as the '50s Body Snatcher. It's a decent take. It's probably probably unnerves you more. It's more, you got more dread. And
I don't know if I've ever seen the newer one. I know there's a dog with a human head.
Yeah. There's three decent Body Snatcher movies that were made. One of them.
Wait, what was the third one?
The guy named Abel Ferrar, who I'm real hit and miss on his movies. He did The Bad Lieutenant, but he did a decent Body Snatchers. He did a really pretty good job on his.
You know, it's funny. I've tried to watch Bad Lieutenant, the New Orleans one. It's on Amazon Prime, and I've tried to watch it about 3 times, and it keeps crashing on me. It's only that show. I can't figure that out.
Huh. Well, yeah. Now you aren't trying to watch the Nicolas Cage version of it, are you? Or are you watching the Harvey Keitel version?
Harvey Keitel.
Okay. Because the Nicolas Cage version is its own unique little experience. I think I prefer watching it. It's the what's his name, Werner Herzog, or is that? Yeah, I think that's him.
Yeah.
He did one with Nicolas Cage, and I like it better. It's funnier.
But it's not the exact same script, is it?
Pretty much, yeah. It's about a guy that does. It's in New Orleans, though. It's about a guy that has got a legitimate reason for his drug problems that Harvey Keitel had in his version.
I was kind of thinking there was one in New York, the one set in New York and one set in New Orleans.
Yeah, what did I just say?
The Nicolas Cage version?
Yeah, the Cage version starts out with him, joshing around, saying, these guys, there's been flooding. It's been the Katrina moment.
Oh.
And they got these poor panicking convicts that they found in some jailhouse, and they're mocking them for being worried about dying and all that. But they realize one of them's got to swim over and unlock the cells.
Oh, God, yeah.
And they don't want to get in that mucky water and all that. But I think
Cage
loses the coin toss or whatever. And and it just shows you real simply that he jumps in, goes in over his head. And the next thing you know, he's a drug addict because there was something under that water, and he hit it, and it sent him to the hospital, and he got to where he liked Oxycontin, and about everything you could give him.
Oh, jeez.
After that, then that's a really cool way to figure things out. I mean, figure out for your character, saying, why is he like this? He used to be a good cop.
Okay, I'm not going to email Dan these on screen so that I don't want anybody to see Dan. Well, you know what? Hang on, I'll stop sharing.
Sutherland was a bad guy in that. Super creepy in that one. Yeah, he was an arsonist, apparently. So you're going to stop sharing that.
Just for a second, so I can email these to Dan.
Okay.
Dan, I'm going to send you the changes, or the new changes.
Yeah, my exhaustion today is taking a toll on my. That's my excuse anyway. Taking a toll on my drawing.
Oh.
It's my back, everything. I could go to sleep right now if I felt like it.
Nope.
What did I see? I saw The Third Man recently. Rewatched it, and it was just totally new and different to me. That's fun when you see a movie that saying, "Hey, what's all the flap about?"
What'd you see it on? It's floating around a lot of stuff.
Yeah, it's actually on Prime.
Oh, is it?
Mm-hmm. I've been watching a lot of Prime lately. I got started on The Boys again, the fourth episode.
Gosh.
Yeah, I know. Oh gosh, that's right. Because all of a sudden, the thing that you get reminded about on The Boys is like, oh, I remember how hard this can be to watch. They're always doing something for you. Well, I'm just wanting to draw shapes and little forms today, but the brain doesn't say, okay, now draw something everybody will recognize what it is. I'll draw a robot out of this little shape I started. I've been digging, I've been slouching around with a little Procreate action.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, kind of digging.
Okay, I've sent that, Dan. I've sent you the thing. I'm gonna start sharing my screen again. I'm gonna work on the new
Thanks, Scott. I will look these over.
That's fine. You please don't send me changes before the end of the show.
Yeah. Scott's not in the mood. It's muggy out here in Oklahoma. God, it's muggy.
No, it's pretty comfortable in my house.
Okay. Yeah, that just occurs to me. I did seal everything up, turn on the AC, but it hadn't kicked in yet.
Did my screen not share?
I have to, I guess, click on it. Add to
okay.
stage. I don't guess you can do that.
Nope.
Sorry.
That's okay. Oh, yeah, there we go. Okay, now I gotta go. So this is a little bit different because, let's see, I have to do, is there a 0 page?
The Third Man is so cool because they were, Carol Reed they were all over there, and Hamburg, if that's where they really were. It was
Hamburg, Germany?
Yeah, it was, still all bombed out and everything, had a whole lot of rubble piles and all that. And so all they had to do is say, let's go over here to this rubble pile and light it just operatically. And and they got all this production value out of just the streets of Hamburg. And it was really cool. You know, ordinarily you don't step outside and get that much production value out of their average movie.
Yeah, that is pretty cool.
Then, you know, in this case, you know, Hamburg, you could say, "Yeah, I shot it in our backyard," but the backyard at the time was, oh wow, that's something else. Like that, right? You've got a shot. And of course, and it's funny, my misremember or the new impression I have of Joseph Cotton in that movie. I didn't like him the first time I saw him.
Yeah.
He just seemed too you know, too weak or something, too smart alecky, and too victimized by what he found himself in and all that. And I was just totally over that this time. It's like, ooh, golly, this guy has found himself in a interesting stew here.
I remember what I did for these chapters. For these issues. I've gotten to where I use actions for a lot of this stuff because I got so much stuff to do.
He already sent a change, and then he says, quick, real quick, all caps. Kidding.
Yeah. We'll see how much he likes lettering.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to doing some things with the DL and Odious. Did I already say that out loud while we were streaming? I think I did.
I don't know if you did or not.
But anyway, you know, the plan is to do basically a motion comic first. I may even do it with. There comes the air conditioner. It says we've had enough of 80. Try to push it into 81. We'll come on.
There you go. I'm glad your hair is working though.
Yeah.
Let's see.
That's a pretty good Batman. Stick some ink on it.
I don't think I did this right.
What else? I haven't really. I named this one "How to Shorten Your Attention Span" or something like that, because my own attention span is, you know, like every modern person, is like it's our great disease right now. You know, you need to have an attention span that will read a book, write a book. Those are valuable attention spans.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, I think that the phone and some of that stuff is a killer to that kind of thing. You know,
it definitely is.
We've gotten to where we want everything. You know. Okay.
Yeah, give me a synopsis of the news. Definitely. Don't want to hear you drone on and on. I want you to. It amazes me that so many people think that the way to do their YouTube videos is with the old philosophy of what the news stations used to do, which was give you a little tease of the most interesting thing they had as an item, and then wait till the end of the show to finally have that essay on.
Oh, yeah.
You know, tease it and then keep them around for the whole thing. I don't think that is necessarily what you want to be doing on something like YouTube. I think you want to be paying off early on stuff and not trying to tease people into watching your entire video.
I agree.
I think you should just say up front, here's where we're going. But again, that's the symptomatic of the guy that says, "Oh, I got no attention span for all this flapdoodle this guy wants to get into. Tell me what I'm here for."
I don't think my actions are working, Ellis.
Your actions?
Oh,
Well,
hang
or
on.
you
Hang on.
sometime you can
I had the
disable those.
wrong thing selected. Let me try this again.
Dan says, "Seriously, take it slow. There's no rush since I have to finish chapter 5.
There's always a rush, Dan.
Watch some Godzilla. I finally did watch Godzilla -1, and I gotta admit, oh, did you get Jeff's message on Facebook?
Did I get Jeff's message?
On
I did
Facebook?
not. I did not. Maybe I should look at that.
Now you're in suspense. He mentioned he is printing the pages off in blue line.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, does that mean he's inking traditionally?
I don't know. That would seem to indicate why do it otherwise.
Yeah. Oh. Apparently I missed a bunch of.
Facebook.
Oh, well, I won't send him. No, yeah. Okay. So sorry. Apparently I missed. I don't check Facebook that much. So apparently, yeah, I can. No. It won't affect the pencils. I'm still sending him the pencils.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. So, yes. No. All I'm doing is setting up. Okay. So here's what I'm doing. Okay. Let's see.
We were discussing the lettering with a question mark. Cool. I'm not sure.
What is my action is not working for some reason. Just trying again. Oh, there we go. Okay, so I will show Dan what I'm gonna do, and he will go, oh, this, and so all I'm doing is I'm just taking my pencils and I'm coming into Illustrator. No, this is not the current, but so I'm going to take, no, look, oh, this is kind of a mess, but this is my lettering template. I'm just going to, I'm not going to letter. He won't get the page with letters, because I'm going to, no, that's not what I'm doing. I'm having computer issues. I will, he's gonna get he'll get the pages still, just like he was before. He'll get the pencils. I'm not gonna send him the letters. I'm just gonna place them so that when he sends me the inks, I can drop the lettering on there.
Mm-hmm.
I'll reply to that. I'll say that right now.
Yeah, you guys, your pipeline.
Yeah, it's a little convoluted.
Yeah, you need to make everybody happy with the. Boy. I wasn't looking across the line there, and Batman's got his kneecaps on 2 different shaped legs. Oh well. Maybe nobody will notice, especially the part where I. That would take a little correction, a little digital correction for nobody to notice. Yeah, my only excuse is I'm tired. Got a lot of physical activity in my neuromuscular skeletal system today.
I just sent Jeff a text.
They've got a clip
Oh.
of Norm Macdonald interviewing David Letterman that I must have watched 50 times by now. It's just a fun little clip where, Norm just digs in deep and asks Dave a real serious question. Says, "Man, you spent 30 years. What about that last show? When you got done with it, and you walk out, are you thinking about tomorrow's show?" And and Dave says, he goes, "No." And as you must know, the human neuromuscular skeletal system is easily programmed. And then he started his next thought, and, and Norm goes, "Sure, I knew that." and it just destroys Dave because he'd been primed with a very serious question. And then, Norm couldn't resist himself. He just had to go like, "Well, sure, I knew that." Well, after like he was being condescended to.
Yeah. Well, hopefully that gets Jeff happy.
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 Happy collaborators.
Well, I mean, I don't want to think I'm doing something to make his job. I don't want Jeff's job harder for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's the deal. You're you're at this. You're the locus with the pencils. Is that the right word? Locus?
Locus or focus?
Well, a locus is the center of things, isn't it?
Yeah, I believe so. It's also a bug.
Yeah. Well, if you add a T to it, or you
Oh,
enunciate
yeah.
the way I do.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Or you get a better vocabulary than mine, because there's every chance that. Isn't there a magazine called Locus? I think there was.
Used to be. I don't know if there still is.
Probably not. When you talk about the publishing world.
If it was a literary magazine,
if it was a
probably
magazine, it's probably gone. That used to be, one of the things you wanted to get into as a young creative. Hey, I want to work on magazines.
Yeah.
Get out there and. Have you ever seen that movie that's all about the backstory? Yeah, Norm was great. Of National Lampoon, about the early days, how tough it was, and how
I think I have seen that.
and nobody was on the exact same page on how to get it done right and all that. And it was a super struggle. And one of the guys that had. He's at the top, and he finally gets in a position where the big sale has gone through, and he's going to be cashing out in whatever way a guy could cash out, and say, "Okay, I'm done. I did what I accomplished, and woohoo! I got a bag full of money." And the way he did it, he just walked out and told all these creatives, like, basically, kiss his butt on the way out. He actually, he hated to look at every one of them. The collaborative thing had gone so wrong so many times, Speaking of, it was. It all comes back to Donald Sutherland again. Animal House. It's probably where half of them were headed. Let's go to Hollywood. Doug Kinney certainly was, but then he did something weird in Hawaii. Some people say suicide. Some people say he's one of those guys that got too close to the edge of a cliff and got blown off.
I'm having an issue. Is Dan still on?
Yeah, I think so.
One of his. I
was hoping him getting lettered pages would make it easier on him. But again, that's why I'm a writer.
Yeah. Well, I never thought that Jeff would want them direct. On page 1, he has the third text blocks credited to somebody, Victoria, but there's no Victoria in this scene. It's Gideon, Olivia, and I think Wainwright. Damien Wainwright. I think Victoria should be Olivia.
Waingro. You know who? What character that is? Waingro.
No.
Heat. It's the one that
Robert
Robert De Niro will do anything to have a chance to kill him. He tried to kill him earlier, but he scuttled off under a couple of cars, and if he ever gets a chance, he'll go out of his way and blow his whole. He's got a credo. He lives by that. He's always ready to take off in about 2 minutes.
Oh yeah.
But he finds out Waingro. He could drop off at the hotel and kill Waingro, but it proves to be his last mistake. That ending is so much like the ending of Bullet. It always like, yeah, I guess I'm done with this movie already. I've seen this ending before.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen Heat. I think I have it on DVD, and it's.
Oh,
I mean,
he says, yeah, my bad. I had Olivia named Victoria originally, and I changed it. So you need to change that name.
Well, it's just I was just trying to figure out who's saying that. Did I forget to draw another female? Yeah, so the Black Cricket has been sent off the first 2 chapters, and the third, if Dan goes over all the lettering and it's good, I assume the third will get sent off to a publisher.
What else have I seen? I mentioned The Boys. They've got this thing called Outer Range that I was so ready to kind of dig. It had Josh Brolin in it.
Yeah.
And of course, with my book, I was like, what the hell? Someone's doing something with a Western setting where all of a sudden there's a giant mysterious hole that appears, and it's like, hey, I need to check this, see if somebody has read my script. And it was like, no, not anything like it. And I'm just real reluctant to get engaged back with that again too, because it got tiresome in a lot of ways. The big thing that's guilty of having gotten tiresome is this. Was that a Netflix series? What is that called? It's got a real simple title. Oh, The 3-Body Problem. And,
yeah.
And I was watching it thinking it was going to be something that wrapped up, and then about the next to the last one, I said, "This isn't wrapping up, is it? They must be planning on having another series, another season." And sure enough, you go all the way to the end with just practically nothing happening for 3 shows, and it's like, that's not what viewers want. They want,
more shows.
Turn over some rocks. Show us some new stuff.
Yeah.
What's your issue here? Find some momentum and do something with it.
Oops, that's not what I wanted. Yeah.
Sci-fi, Netflix. That attention span thing. On Netflix. Netflix is, I guess where you go to kind of for oddball series. But lately it seems like I go to Prime as much as anything. Prime, I guess, is just recently scored Oppenheimer, and
Oh yeah.
I thought I caught all the name changes. Sending on Monday. Oppenheimer's on Prime right now. And of course, the deal is, I guess it was on Netflix where all of a sudden it was no fanfare whatsoever, and all of a sudden I'm able to watch Godzilla -1.
Wait, where was that on?
It's
Where'd
on
you
net.
watch it?
It's on Netflix, and it's
Oh, on
like
Netflix. On Netflix.
groovy. Yeah, you don't have the. And I thought, because I saw an early thing, it said, "Well, yeah, it's on Netflix Australia." I thought, well, yeah, that'd be typical. Somebody announcing that it was a big deal that Netflix had it. But sure enough, by the end of the day, it was showing up as being an offering. It's like, oh wow, I get to watch it. And then I watched the first like 40 minutes of it, and it's like, is this a trick? Is this the
Is this the real
Godzilla?
movie?
Is this the Godzilla -1 everybody's raving about? Because I was thinking that this guy that was the the conflicted kamikaze pilot had entirely too much about him. But later on, finally it all kind of blends up and they give you a good presentation on everything. And it's like, okay. And then, of course, he pays off really well, too, the kamikaze pilot. But, yeah, I honestly thought this isn't exciting enough to have excited so many people. Yeah. So I thought,
Dan is having convulsions over there.
is he?
Yeah, yeah. If he hears you saying this, he's having convulsions. He's like, Ellis Goodson.
Tubi is still the best. Yeah, Tubi's got some great movies.
I've
It was a surprise to everyone. Came out of nowhere.
yeah,
Yeah. As far as Godzilla -1, yeah.
yeah. What I've been watching lately is I've been watching the X-Men series,
Ah,
the new one, X-Men '97, and it's decent. But Magneto's a good guy, or Magneto is a good guy.
how does that work?
Not very good in my opinion, but he was a good guy in the comics for a while. So
Yeah, I just remember, that that helmet early on.
he's not wearing the helmet.
Hmm.
There's some kind of psychobabble about why he's not wearing the helmet. So I have a question for Dan. Again, since he's hanging on to the thing, is the name of this chapter Interphase? He can confirm that in the show.
Okay, what did you ask? Is the Magneto
Is the
being
name of
good?
What? No, I said is the name of this chapter. I'm lettering the thing. So the last one was the next day. And I wanted to make sure if this one is actually Interphase.
Interphase.
Yeah.
Dan, he says yes.
Okay. That's good because that's what you're getting.
So I've got it all distorted and manipulated.
What's manipulated?
Your type. Don't you have to do a little special bending and stuff
I'm
to
gonna.
it?
Well, I'm just gonna put a drop shadow on it, just on that one. And I'm assuming he wants me to put the title on there like that. That's a big block of text. Oh well. Anyway, yeah. So hopefully Jeff is not freaked out about the
Interphase. He's got a suggestion.
what's
What
the
about
suggestion?
interphase?
Okay, that works. That's what I got. That works.
Okay,
Right there.
like phase is entering the picture.
Oh yes. Okay. Yeah, phase. There's a payoff to that.
Yeah, these actors dying. You think about, okay, so let's think of every contemporary of Sutherland, like Who else could be like
Or
in the queue to die? You know, everybody that was in MASH, of course, most of them are probably dead
oh,
already.
yeah.
Sutherland and now dead, and Gould's still around. I know you hear something about him every now and then.
Oh, I can go back and do all the other ones. Oh, crap. Yeah, this is and this is what
Well, here
Jeff
he
doesn't
is
realize.
saying, what about what adding the 3 periods between
What
enter
three?
and phase?
No, it's done.
De Niro. Oh, De Niro.
The
De Niro could be dead at any time.
yeah, well, yeah.
Well,
I think
except he looks fine. He's
I don't know.
well,
Have you seen him lately? He is angry about
oh yeah,
everything.
he's an angry man. Yeah,
Oh my gosh, yeah, he could die of cardiac arrest.
yeah, that's true. A lot of these guys could go any time from that.
Yeah, you can't be that angry about stuff that doesn't affect you. I mean,
Well, yeah, and making up notions about how it does affect you.
right.
I guess we all do that though, but
Don't you know, Scott? Gosh, yeah, what did I do wrong? Dang it. Sorry. Uh,
yeah, he's going to stroke out when Trump wins. So I'm going to have. I think an awful lot of smart money is on the idea that they've just got it figured out at this point. They don't allow Trump to win. They've probably got about they've gamed it so much that they've probably got 10 ways to keep him from winning. So it's like I can't get too optimistic about that. I think the continuity from right now to Joe and whoever's next, I keep seeing the thing that I always suspected would happen is that Hillary will be shoehorned in there somewhere.
oh my gosh.
And,
That
and,
I
I,
don't.
and,
I
I,
mean, I
and
just
I've
figured
always fully
lately.
expected that.
Oh my gosh, I can't imagine that she. You think she'll be? I don't
Yeah,
know about
yeah, yeah.
that.
Oh yeah, I always expected that because she's got nothing else, and she is such a force for uh, you know she's got her constituency that says she ought to be the one doing it, and it is as connected as anything else. And boy, I tell you what, you want to see somebody abuse a DOJ when they get the
No.
power.
Yeah.
Hillary will unleash the
Yeah.
moment she's able. She'll show you how it's done.
I believe that. Well, yeah.
And that's
the
the
thing that
reason. That's the
thing
reason
that
I think it's
Clintons
coming.
do,
Go ahead.
I think the things that the Clintons knew is when you get in there, you've got to clean house. You can't let.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The FBI files the Craig Livingstone moment where he supposedly he just basically fell on his sword for them, and he knew that nothing would happen to him. California is nothing to run on. I don't see how he could run. Yeah, Newsom is just an example of a talent you can't tell him, you can't embarrass him, you can't shame him. He's got that as a superpower. You aren't going to be able to nail him down on anything where he doesn't just say right to your face as a lie. That's not correct.
Well, and
This is the way it is.
I think that's where we're going to get in the debates. It's going to
Yeah.
be like, hey, you did this. Then it'll be like, oh no, you know.
Well, I can't wait to see these ads that they're going to foist on us about that emphasize the felony convictions of Trump. because apparently they're making them,
Oh, I'm
and
sure they are.
and.
Oh, they'd be
There's
dumb
such
not to. But it's like, I don't think the problem is I don't think people care. I don't know at this point. I don't know how anyone
I
can.
don't, like I say, Dan, Hillary not being a no-go, she's just too unlikable. No, they don't have that as a consideration now. They can basically thrust people where they want them now. They didn't know they needed the ability. But they realized they needed it come 2016, and they had it ready to go. Oh, wait a second. Wait a moment. Am I right? No, that's 2020.
Hmm,
Wait a second. When was the last election? Wasn't
2020.
Yeah, 2020.
So again, I mean, I don't think Jeff is watching, but the thing that I'm doing now is just all this prep work that I need to do to get the lettering made. That
Well, and it's not. Yeah.
doesn't affect anything from him.
Well, and your talent and your value to the pipeline, you should be an undistracted guy that's working on that all important thing that you do as a penciler. Should be.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't, but
Of course, I think there was some notion that hey, maybe I could do it. At one point, it's like, no. Because just because I just
you could do what? My lettering?
lettering, yeah, exactly.
Oh,
We
I'd love
we
to have
we,
you
we,
do.
we
I would
had a
love
little,
to have you do the lettering. But you have to work in Illustrator.
yeah,
You'd
yeah.
you'd go insane if you didn't work in Illustrator.
I do have an old version Illustrator. I could.
Well, I'm using CS2.
Yeah, well, yeah, we could probably handshake.
I could I could show you how to do it, Ellis.
Honestly, all you got to do is compare the country. Yeah, I already saw that.
Well, yeah. I mean, you say that, but here's the problem, and I agree. But here's the problem, and this is what's going to happen in the debates. It's not going to be the country compared to 2019. What's going to there? He's going to say, well, when Trump left office, this is which would be at the end of the pandemic,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah,
of
yeah.
course the country was in the toilet, but that was Fauci, and that was governors, and that there was a lot of other things going on,
Yeah.
and
Well,
so
that's the deal. I don't know why Trump. He's fearless. He knows he's going into a tag team match where he's the only guy on his team.
right.
Ellis, are you volunteering? No, I wasn't.
No, he's not. No, I'm not dealing with him doing the
He's not dealing with me as part of the pipeline.
Well, yeah. I-
Just
Well,
Right.
and the thing, the advantage that I have is, I mean, this is the kind of crap I do all freaking day.
Yeah.
I have for
Mhm.
35 years, and it's not that big. I mean, but it's not what I want to be done, but it's also not a big deal because I'm so familiar with the software, and that I've got a system down. And the thing that was difficult, or the initially difficult with doing chapter 3 was I was kind of coming after Jeff, and I had to figure out his sizing. So what I'll do now is I know what Jeff's size is, and so I know what to expect.
Mhm. Yeah, I finished the deal in ODS, and it's like, it's unless you're ready to make a noise with something, it's like, why did I spend a year doing that? I don't know. But,
Well,
as far as the inexorable X, what it taught me about, you spend enough time on anything daily and you just do it like a robot, and by God, it gets done.
discipline is
Hmm.
important. One of the
Yeah.
things that I always admire about you, Ellis, is the fact that I know you have your routine and you're disciplined about it, and I think that's pretty cool.
Hmm.
I've told many people that when I retire, I want to have oops,
A
a
life.
routine like yours.
Hmm.
Now, I don't think it'll happen because of other circumstances.
Because you'll be so busy being entrepreneurial.
Yes, my freaking brother's going to make me. But we're trying to get ourselves in a position to where we're busy, but we're not busy,
Yeah, you're
and we're making lots of money.
yeah, you're, what do you call that
Hopefully,
when the head of the,
yeah, you're busy, but it's like, I'm busy, but I'm not busy.
I'm hoping we'll make a noise with Black Cricket. I hope you do
Oh,
too,
I
because
am too.
I watch you guys work hard. Hey, those blisters I had last week,
Yeah.
they popped on their own during natural kind of moments, and so the blister did its job of staying right, and it's getting to where they feel a little less like it's super glued. That feeling when you got super
Oh, yeah.
glue and kills all your nerves. So they're healing. That dead skin's almost ready to rot off.
Nice.
Yeah, healing. But so that happened. So there was a burn that was bad enough, blistered up, ugly. Took 3 hours to quit throbbing and hurting. And today, yesterday I was mowing the lawn and I got that mower up against something, and I thought to myself, why am I not wearing eye protection? All of a
Oh
sudden I got
gosh.
into a bunch of little rocks, and I was ricocheting them all over the place and taking face hits. And it's like, God, if there's something that ended up in my eye, I'd be in the emergency room right now.
Yep.
And I've got those little plastic eye protectors out in the garage. I could have had them on, but of course in this damn weather, you put a piece of plastic that you're sweltering under.
Yeah, you'd much rather have a rock in your eye.
Yeah, I'd much rather have a rock in my eye.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no,
Well,
you're
hey,
right.
hey,
It's like,
I went to our facility up in Princeton, and they were casting bronze, dude, and like it was 1,200 degrees, and the guy he's got a flask that's heated up, and he's taking these bars of bronze and dropping them in there, and
oh
it's
my.
splashing up, and I'm like, should you be wearing gloves? And he goes, yeah, I probably should be. And I'm like, well, dude,
Yeah.
you know,
Yep. Just go
so,
wrong in a split second.
oh my
That's
God.
all
Yeah.
it takes.
Well,
One split second.
here's what I always tell my employees: life altering injury,
Yeah. Yeah.
and you don't want that.
Change the way and how of everything you do from this point forward with one injury. Yep. Well, Scott, we've been at it an hour, and you didn't free associate as much because your brain
Yeah. Yeah. I was
had to
kind of
problem solve
doing
all day long.
Yeah, I was kind of doing this, but
Somebody's got
uh,
to do it.
yeah, it needs to be done, so I'll do it. And
George is doing it. Yeah.
George,
You remember that old thing they used to run, like let George do it. It was supposed to shame all of the citizens of America, saying we were all saying let George do it instead of doing it ourselves.
oh, who cares?
I forget who
Yeah, George
re-ended
should
that
George
thing.
should do it. Make George do it.
Yeah, let
George
George do it.
one of the crap. There's always something
Politics.
you miss. That's what's frustrating about this kind of stuff.
Scott, thanks for all the hard work. Dan says. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were telling me that, Ellis. I was
No,
going to say,
no,
you're welcome,
no.
Ellis.
Thanks for all your hard work and your
Well,
dedication.
God, I want Well, one, I hope our letter is able to jump back on, and but I don't want to be waiting on him,
Yeah, yeah.
and I feel like
Well,
I'm,
yeah, with health things and stuff like that.
well, and here's the deal. Obviously I don't want the job, so I'm the least threatening to his
Yeah,
job,
yeah, yeah.
you know.
Well, Scott,
Anyway,
you want me to end our stream here? Think
yeah,
so.
yeah, in the stream,
Okay.
in the
Hey,
stream.
Dan,
Yeah, thanks,
take it
Dan.
easy.
Yeah, look over those pages and let me know.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, ending stream. Bye.
Bye.
Hopefully he will be back soon, he said.